this an uncomfortable presence.
Unnerving, yes. Definitely she is. With her dead bunnies and I don't know, her mother thinks she's bad. I don't know, but it is almost time for the show. So Layla, production, could you put up the endurance scene, please? And Layla would walk us through it.
I would love nothing but. Our main character, one of our main story characters, grabs a pistol, but it was next to something not quite dead, which is what they called me all the time. The character then enters a room only to find themselves surrounded by fighters, human-like figures chasing them. You have to help them dispatch these horrors by timing your inputs to what's on the screen. As the character exits, the pistol is blown away from them by a flying monster, and one of you, an audience member, will appear on screen as a cameo to shoot the monster down and help the main character before being chased down and probably eaten alive, saving our storied character in the process. What an honor to go out protecting people, Noah.
It is quite an honor, and people do deserve, special acknowledgement for these things. And if a character fails through an endurance scene, they may not survive future encounters, leading to their permanent death in the story. So these endurance scenes are one of the best ways to they're one of the best ways to earn large amounts of influence points, which you can use to influence decisions. Remember, success and failure is all part of a collective story, and it's not individual judgment. We're all in this together. We're not gonna judge you with our fans. We only look like we're judging you, but we're not. Slightly, maybe, but not really. No, not at all.
It's a loving judge. But hey, Noah, we're like 2 minutes away from the show. I just want to pop back into that decision. Redemption is not winning. So it is like really, 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 really back and forth.
Good thing we have this today, really. I'm gagging here.
We're going to need some just to cool off. And Noah, would you like to take us out with a quick summary?
Yes. So we had Carl and Meta potential makeout session. We're going to see. We had Toby being blamed for all the town's problems, and probably we will need to do a severing ritual with him. We will need to do a severing ritual with him. And Eric, his best friend, dumped him. So this is a reminder that after the show, we will be back. But we will be back for the post-show, but we will also show you an interview that I've had the pleasure of doing with our wonderful Chris Cross. So for now, please enjoy the show, and we'll see you afterwards. Thank you.
Bye.
You actually came.
Let's get this over with. You, our blessed, must take this action.
Let us begin.
What you're doing is important, Toby. You may just save us all.
I'm ready.
We are blighted.
Our words are woe. Our deeds are rot.
But we are not lost.
By hallowed blade, I draw out the affliction. Something is wrong. What the fuck is this?
Astrid, wait!
You two couldn't even wait for Mama to be buried? Let me guess. You gave her Mama's ring too.
What? Is something out there?
It's just Orson. I had to leave him in the car.
What? Why?
He's throwing a fit. I don't know how he's going to make it through the ceremony.
I could watch the boy.
Okay.
Mette could help too.
I'd rather she not. Orson doesn't know her well. Look, I just need you to make sure he doesn't go up to the casket. I don't want him to see Mama like that.
The boy deserves to say goodbye to his grandmother.
He's too young, Papa. He might cry about it, but you just have to be firm with him. Damn it. That's the funeral director. Just watch him for me. You owe me that much. This is Astrid.
How? Shit! Shit! Shit!
Toby, what is...
Rachel, we have to finish this. We have to end the wither.
Toby, I can't.
Yes, you can.
Toby,
Don't stop being a cold-hearted bitch on me now. I made it right. I made it right.
What is this place? I have to find a way out.
Welcome to Silent Hill Ascension post-show. I am Noah and I'm here with the wonderful Layla. And Layla, what did we just watch?
Noah, do not speak to me. Do not look at me. I am grieving. I am in mourning.
This is painful. Not your boy. I'm so sorry, Layla. I know you were rooting for him. I know.
I just, he was kind of everything to me.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry, Layla. But maybe it will give you comfort that he chose it. Well, the audience chose it, which means he chose it too. So, it was his call to sacrifice himself.
That's true. And as we said, neck and neck decision, that thing was going back and forth the entire time. And I think at the very last second, Redemption pulled out, which is very fun. There was a lot of internal reaction to it, which was...
We were shook here. And it's hard to see Toby, it's hard to let him go. But yeah, let's look again at the video that we saw now. Toby finds himself transported from the severing ritual to a strange place with an ominous threat. This was harrowing. This is what a lot of us chose that would happen, most of us, but not Layla. Let me tell you, she wanted that boy to survive.
No, I was much like Noah was manifesting earlier. I was also manifesting a better scenario for my poor boy Toby, but alas, it was not to be. He did the redemptive thing and sacrificed himself to stop the withering. Now, is that going to be effective? We don't know.
Yeah. Oh my God, that sucks the most when you sacrifice yourself and you're like, damn. It's still like, you know, like it's like Jesus and people are still sinning, even though he tried. Anyway, I don't know. I sin.
Yeah, just like that, Noah. Just like this
much
stinks. Absolutely.
Much like Jesus. Anyway, I'm so sorry about that. But
no, you're good. That was great. I love the escalation. We're good. Yeah, it was. Listen, it was hard to watch. It was a lot. He also like made Rachel. He did not let Rachel off easy in that moment either, right? Because she could have been across the room or whatever watching him do it, but no, he kind of made her, you know, stab him. And I think that's how do I put it? I'm glad that Rachel didn't keep her hands clean during this whole thing, because she's kind of at the root of it all, isn't she?
Right, but you know, if there's somebody who likes to get their hands dirty here, that's Rachel. Rachel is she's the woman for the hard jobs, I feel. Even though like most of her job is like emotionally controlling her husband.
Yeah, she does what needs to be done, Noah, and unfortunately, what needs to be done is often in her own view of what needs to be done. I don't know if it's like objectively what needs to be done. Maybe we need to, as we in production like to say, you know, kind of go on a higher level, take a step back, see what the actual issue is. But I don't think she's doing that. She could come train with us for a couple of weeks and see what goes on.
Yeah, but let's see if she does our dirty jobs. But yeah, I can't imagine what Eric is gonna go through. By the way, he's gotta feel so guilty. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, how do I put this? He's also made.
He sure did. But by the way, we do have cameos here on Silent Hill Ascension. Production, can you please show us the graphic? And Layla, can you please read it for us?
Absolutely. You have an opportunity to be the extra in Silent Hill Ascension. You can take part in cameo contests regularly, and cameo contests are entered with influence points. Noah, I think you have a little bit more context for folks who may not know about our cameos.
I sure diddly do. So one important aspect of Silent Hill Ascension is our cameo contest, because you, as an audience member, can be part of Silent Hill canon forever. You and other audience members can enter a cameo contest to have parts in the series, and you can enter with the influence points that you've wonderfully accumulated with the endurance scenes and the puzzles. And the current cameo contest closes soon, so this is your last chance to enter it. You can be canon, do it. And a lucky chance to interview the very wonderful Chris Cross earlier. So you're gonna watch that in just a little bit. So production, can you please show us the interview with Chris, and we will see you right after the interview finishes. Both me and Layla are gonna dissect that together. We have the wonderful Chris Cross here, who's the studio creative director at Genvid. Chris, welcome. We're so happy to have you. Could you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, sure. My name is Chris Cross, studio creative director. I have a lot of experience in interactive and games, and studio creative director just means that I try to make everything easy for the other creative directors.
Right. And, you know, it's so important that there's somebody to smooth out all the stuff, so that creatives that are more focused on just being creative don't get anxiety from managing everything. So could you explain to the audience what you work on more specifically?
Yeah, sure. So more specifically, I've taken, one of the things that I do is make sure that the heart of our branching narrative decisions works 100% correctly all the time. And that goes all the way from what the script looks like, how it exports, how it imports, how the back-end systems work, all the way to what's presented on screen, and how people, input their decisions and their decision-making in the live show. It's a lot of technical work, but it's also a lot of gluing work as far as getting lots of teams to work together.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like you have your hands full here.
Every day. Every day.
And I know you do. I've seen it.
Yeah.
So what makes this, as you started alluding to that, but what makes this series a different experience than like a game or a TV show?
So what's really interesting, and we sit right in between game and TV show a little bit, but the biggest factor is the M in Miles, which is massive. And so the whole audience is making the decision, not just one person. And so what's really fun for me is not only providing a way for people to do that, but also seeing how they interact with each other, right? And how they try to influence as a community this branching narrative that we've built for them that's huge and massive. And, I think that they take it a little bit for granted because we're doing our job smoothly enough that they're not even noticing that it's branching. They just get presented a linear story as if that's the way it always was. But little do they know, there are multiple systems at work and also like lots of possible branches per night.
Right, and as a production coordinator on this project, so I've seen all the crazy branching, all the crazy stuff, and I know how complex it gets. And even I kind of forget when I see it on the app, and I'm like, wow, it seems like it is linear, but it's not. It's really difficult to make all these things happen.
Yeah, for every show, we have 3 main scenes, but to make those scenes, it might be, as few as 3 videos, or sometimes I have 12 ready to go, depending on how the decision outcome is. But most people don't realize that it's branching and picking the right video at the right time based on their decisions. And so, it's a complex web of possible outcomes that are all ready. And then, maybe one day we'll be able to show those other possibilities.
Right. And maybe. And also, so this is your second interactive series, right?
Yeah, it is. So I worked on The Walking Dead: The Last Mile, which was formatted a little bit differently. We had a lot of learnings from that project. A lot of that has shaped how this mile is working. And it's a learning experience that I would still say that I'm not 100% an expert yet.
Right. Well, everything's a learning experience, and this is like what science is like. Science is not finite solutions. It's an ever-growing questioning and revisioning and doing something new. So, what's an interesting discovery, like you said, that you made on The Walking Dead? One
of the biggest revelations for me on The Walking Dead was how much people really loved cameos. It's not everybody, but there are a few people who were really hardcore. They were so hardcore that they were actually like an extra tester, finding exploits to gain more influence points to make sure that they won, because they really took it seriously. When we say that you're going to be a cameo in the story, you become part of the canon, right? And so,
which is true. It's something to be taken very seriously.
Exactly, and I think many people would change their names if they knew that they were forever going to be immortalized as some chump 22.
Right. Yeah, maybe time to rethink those usernames if you want to be canon.
Yeah.
So, what's the most exciting thing you've worked on Silent Hill Ascension?
So the most exciting thing is the decisions. The decisions is the core interaction for everybody. And so it's a lot of work, but it's really worth it, especially to see how seamlessly it happens during the live show. The decisions, I don't know, it's really mind-boggling when you know how it looks to me and how complex it is, and then to see it play out according to the audience interaction, and that it's following their not only their decision in the moment, but the callbacks to previous decisions that are still influencing the story and the narrative. It's really amazing for me that sort of magic, I think, is almost taken for granted because it's too smooth.
You're right. And you're kind of, in a sense, you're kind of a facilitator of chaos in a way, because you're allowing all these chaotic things to ensue.
That's right. And in fact, I know all of the potential directions, and I'm just here to let people express their chaos, right? I am just here to help everybody express the chaos. I have no opinion on which direction every story should go, but I am here for the chaos. In fact, the more chaos, the better. I would love to see the whole audience change their mind about a character halfway through their arc and then start to go another way. That's the whole point of what we're doing. It's exciting to see the community band together and make decisions as a group.
Right. And speaking of decisions, you've worked a lot on the fate and hope system that we have. So what are all the elements you have to coordinate to make it work?
Sure. So tonight we saw Toby's fate and hope outcome, and
we'll go back to it
we should go look at the graph. It was very complex, and so like having everybody understand that multiple decisions went into determining fate, and also mindfulness puzzles and the endure is all influencing Toby's hope. And so we take those two things, we mix it together, stir it up, and then out of 5 possible outcomes tonight, we got the one that we saw.
Right. And so let's production, if you could please pull up the graphic we saw on the interview with Martin last week. So now we can reveal that it's actually Toby's branching. And let me tell you, I'm getting PTSD from looking at this. I remember trying to put it into a linear script for the recordings.
Yes, I don't know if I've been away from this graph long enough to get PTSD. I'm still in the horror moment.
You're still in the.
I'm still in the moment.
You're not in the post. It's an ongoing TSD.
Exactly. And so to make this all happen, every single one of those lines leads to a potential outcome video. And to make them all trigger correctly, I've been down every line. Every single one. It's more work for me, but it's great for the audience.
Right. So Chris did it, so y'all don't have to.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, Chris. We really admire your bravery in this, and I'm not even joking. It sounds like I am, but like you really are important to this. I don't know, like you at the same time that you're a facilitator of chaos, you're also a calm in the storm.
Yeah, just chill, man. Everything's gonna work out. We got this. We got this. It's gonna happen.
So great. So wrapping this up, do you have a message for our wonderful community?
Keep playing the mindfulness puzzles. They really influence the outcome of the story and the narrative, and also try to get the QuickTime events perfect in future endure activities, because they're really affecting an actual story outcome for all of the characters. Those are super important.
Right. So remember, these are fun puzzles, but they have major consequences. So keep on using them, keep on solving those puzzles. And thank you all so much for tuning into this interview. And Chris, thank you so much for all your work. It was so great to have you.
Right on. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Welcome back, my darlings. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed doing it. It was so fun to talk to Chris Cross. I really love him. He's such a great guy and so talented. Layla, don't be harsh, but what did you think?
I mean, you know, we were sitting here watching it together. You saw me giggle a couple of times. So Chris Cross is one of the first people that I got to talk to when I started at GenVid a couple of years ago. And he actually has, I don't know if he's ever shown it to you, but a hysterical graphic to explain like the vision behind interactive streaming that involves characters from other franchises and then like, I believe a baseball stadium. So if you haven't seen it, please seek it out. It's a great time.
Oh, that sounds great, and I will actually do that because I missed the fun on that. But let's talk about decisions that the audience made so far. Layla, can you tell us about that? And production, please put it up on the screen for us.
Yes. All right. So, what will Toby do for the severing ritual? A final fate decision. The audience shows that Toby will sacrifice himself, which is the redemption option. Rip to a king. Toby, I love you. I'll never forget you. And then we had some other ones, which is what will Carl do with Ingrid's ring? The Escandalo decision. Give it to Mete. Absolutely. And then how will Astrid react to her dead mother talking to her? She demanded an apology, which honestly, fair enough.
Fair enough. Your dead mother comes for a visit, you give her the damn apology, okay? The audience really, this week was so exciting because we really had such neck and neck decisions, and they were also huge decisions, the neck and neck decision. Not surprising, actually, because people really care about Toby, our dear old, rest in peace, Toby. But it was so neck and neck. I was really just like, oh. And with Astrid Dead's mother, like, low-key, I did want to see her stab her, low-key. But, you know, like, an apology totally makes sense. I understand it. Weirdly, it's the suffering option.
You know what's funny is I feel like if that had been... I wonder, actually, if that had been Rachel in that spot, would the audience have picked for her to stab her dead mother? It's just, you know, very curious because Astrid does seem a lot more like reserved and a little bit more, I don't even know if thoughtful is the right word, but definitely more contained. Whereas Rachel is a little bit more, how do I put this? More subject to maybe lash out every once in a while. So very interesting there. And then the neck and neck decisions. I mean, part of the reason I'm going to miss having Toby on the show so much is because a lot of the decisions that are neck and neck, that are those really like exciting ones that we internally, literally like we watch it on the app, watch it go back and forth. A lot of those are Toby decisions. So I wonder what the next like polarizing thing is going to be.
Oh my God. I also, honestly, I bet on Rachel. I think something's going on there. But like, yeah, it's the audience really made a very big impact. Just saw the scene before the show. We also just saw what happened with Mette and Carl with the makeout session that you guys decided, guys, girls, ladies, everybody else, you guys decided that they are going to make out.
Well, they're going to try to make out, and then Astra's going to walk.
Oh my God, she's definitely a rooster blocker, if you know what I mean. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Astrid's timing, I will say, is absolutely impeccable. Impeccable like a rooster. I mean, I'm still trying to personally decide how I feel about it, because on one hand, I feel like Carl is such a sad old man that I kind of, on the Toby principle, want to see him like 10% happier. But on the other, all the decisions he's made so far, I'm like, my guy, your vibe is questionable. Do you deserve this?
They are making it quite difficult for us. And by the way, later I will tell you, I have a theory on the astrological signs of our characters.
Oh my goodness gracious, Noah, I can't wait to see the chart. And I wish we had time to see it now, but we are near the end of our show, which means it's your time to shine and give us a summary of what we've seen so far.
we saw our darling Toby sacrifice himself. We don't know if it was worth it. Honestly, we're gonna find out. I don't know if the withering is gonna stop, but we sure did see it. We saw Carl and Meta trying to make out, being rooster blocked by our calculated Astrid. Thank you so much, Chris Cross. Please, audience, stick around in the app, play our lovely puzzles, and will production please pull up the next show graphic for us? Because we are going to see you again on Friday. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at the pre-show at 5:40 Pacific time PM. And then we have the show, which is every weekday on 6 Pacific time PM. And then we have the post shows on Wednesdays, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So we will really miss you until then. And thank you so much for being with us today. I'm sorry that Toby died, but thank you for choosing that. You know, it was your choice. And we are going to see you on the next time. Thank you so much.